Welcome back, friends, to another reading for the collective. My name is Ross, and I pop on here every Tuesday and Thursday to offer these collective readings in the way of storytelling, not fortune telling. And so, if you're new here, hello. And if you're returning, then you know how we begin. There is something in your mind that you would like clarification on, or another viewpoint, another way of looking at it. So, whatever that is, if it's in your mind or if it's in your heart, if it's a feeling, I invite you to home in on that. And what we will do in a moment is take 3 conscious breaths into that space, and on the exhale, breathing that out. You can imagine it going into the cards, or you can just imagine it kind of going into the smoke here and blowing away. Ooh. All right. And so, breathing in and out. Feel free to give a little sound to your exhales. Breathing in and out. And last time, breathing in and out. So, let's see what is up for you today. Woohoo! That one too. Okay. Anything else? Anything else eager to pop out here at the beginning? Let's halt it there. Yeah. And I say eagerness because the first fellow out here, Knight of Swords, you're in the action mode. We'll keep it like that. Yeah. Knight of Swords. You're a person of action. You're ready to take those steps. And even when it doesn't seem like it's the right time, you're learning to trust your intuition. You're charging ahead despite anything that anyone else might be saying about it being the right time, or there's that old adage, ready aim fire, but I have heard it twisted to be, how's it go, fire aim ready. You're choosing to do it despite being afraid. You're choosing to do it despite not being ready. You're taking a look at the resources that you do have and using that to carry you onward. I think this is a great card to start with, especially since we're now officially, are we in Taurus season? Yeah, we just had the Taurus new moon. Yeah. So even though it does seem like there's a lot of action here, it's grounded. We're in a great time of grounding. So that's great for you. Love that for you. And the Hanged Man coming up in the correct way. This is all about new perspectives, looking at things in a new way, maybe that you hadn't before. And maybe with the Knight of Swords here, it's this idea that you thought you had to have everything in order. You had to be ready, aim, fire, instead of fire, aim, ready. And it's that idea of when you take that first step, 414, as I'm saying this, that might be relevant for someone. As you take that first step, you begin to see what is actually happening, what is unfolding, that there is more support than you were aware of. We're off to a good start today. Uh-oh. I spoke too soon. The Tower coming in here at the end, but I don't think the Tower is necessarily a bad card. I don't think any of the cards are bad per se. It's all a matter of perspective. And with the Tower, it is a time for dismantling. And that's maybe something that you can only see when you are looking at things from a different perspective. Maybe all of the safety I'm hearing, all of the caring and the planning that went into building the tower to keep you safe and secure is no longer required for where you're going now. You already have the safety within you. You already have that resource, that rich inner resource, 525 on the clock as I'm saying that. So it doesn't matter what the external looks like, whether it be a tower, like a literal tower, or like wherever you're protecting yourself, whether that be a belief in the body or a belief in the structures. You're ready to look at those in a different way. And what is this resulting in? Let's find out. Charging into battle because you have that belief, you have that unshakable belief. You're not even worried. See, even the horse is looking back like, bro, you sure about this? It doesn't matter to you anymore because you have that unshakable belief in, I hesitate to say in yourself because it's in something higher than yourself. It's something that you see when you are in your meditations, uh, in your solitude, and it is your self, big S self, but it's not your self, your little s self. Language is a funny thing, isn't it? So, what is this leading the dear viewer to? Page of Wands in reverse just kind of dropped out nicely like that. Hmm. Yeah, I can certainly feel as everything about you that you've built up or has been built up around you is collapsing. It can certainly feel like you're on your head, much like the Hanged Man here. And I think this is just suggesting, wands are always the idea of a student, a novice, a beginner, childlike interest in things. And so there's two ways of looking at this. You might have all of this childlike wonder blocked by everything falling down around you, which is understandable. Or this might be an invitation to, again, look at things in a different way. Now that all of the structures are gone or are falling away, all of the misbeliefs you've held or have been put on you by someone else, who are you? What does magic mean to you? What does childlike wonder mean to you? I mean, look at this fella. He's looking up, gazing at the magic wand there, knowing that they have the power, but unsure how to harness it, how to channel it. It's a season of reparenting, and it's not going to be this. Yes, there can be eagerness to that, but it's not going to be the very young kind of rushing in. And that's with this in reverse, it's kind of even suggesting that more slower, more deliberate, more slower, that more deliberate intention of choosing to work with your parts, with your inner child. And I have been struggling to make the time to do that. It's my intention to do that later this week. Hmm. It is a new beginning. And like, we could say that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. I think that's a song lyric, but it's very much this idea of going for it and realizing that there's layers to this, that the childlike wonder exists beneath all of this, and this is what you need to keep in mind. Confirmation yawn. Is there anything else you can give us about this? What else? Okay. Resting is important. For swords, rest, stillness. That's where you're going to be able to hear that inner child speak. And with all of the tumult from not only from the towers in your life collapsing, but also in the energy that you've been putting into those projects, into those new starts, rest is necessary. Ten of Swords here, overkill, overthinking, but also the end of a cycle and blue skies appearing soon. So, I mean, that just kind of speaks to the idea that the tower moments, they'll keep coming, but they don't last. There's this ebb and this flow. And even though this fellow has 10 swords stuck in their back, they're not all the way through. And even the red isn't blood, it's a blanket. I also like to think of this card as an invitation to acupuncture. So if that's something that you've been curious about, this is a confirmation to check that out. Lots of swords energy. There may be some overthinking, and with this tower moment, and with yourself literally looking at things in a different way, looking at all things, tower, in a different way, you can be prone to overthinking. But I just invite you to come back to the body, come back to the breath in those moments when it does feel overwhelming. And I hold you with such tenderness as this cycle ends. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Hafiz, bring it on home for us and the folks at home. What's the affirmation? What's the balm? What's the other way of looking at this that the folks need to hear or know? Please and thank you. And like I said, is it you? Oh, okay. I come on here every Tuesday and Thursday to post these, so I will see you next week. And if you ever want to dive deeper into your own reading, I will leave my link below. And it's very interesting. When these were the only 3 cards out, I felt it was very much a present, future outcome, like a very clear, like, here's where you are, here's where you're going, and here's the end result. So maybe these kind of speak to that triptych idea. 36, take stock of your achievements, reduces to 9. Oh, practice tenderness, 32, reduces to 5. And create, 16, reduces to 7. Now we got practice tenderness, which is on the book, so that's relevant. All right, let's see what we got here. Take stock of your achievements, 36. The stars are our trophies, and the planets too. Now you just need to realize the astounding achievement of just being who you ever are. Now is the time to do a fair and complete inventory of your achievements. Do not pause at your failures, disappointments, or incompletions. Instead, walk around for a day in your successes. You have survived 100% of your traumas and all that life has thrown you. You are a walking, talking, breathing miracle. You have a radiant heart, a sharp mind, and a willing spirit. Your creativity has been expressed in 1,000 decisions that got you where you are today. It wasn't easy to arrive here at this point in life, but you did it. Be proud. Embody the beauty and grace that got you here. It's yours. And that is something, taking stock of your achievements, that you can do while you are resting. But it's also something that we might see with the hanged man, being in that alternative viewpoint of seeing that, oh yeah, I did survive that, or oh yeah, I'm no longer allowing myself to be victimized by that narrative anymore. Whew, and I needed to hear that. Confirmation, yawn. Hmm. Practice tenderness. 1551 as I'm reading that. Tenderness is what I am when my heart governs, and I realize how much so many in this world have suffered. It is in your best interest to be very tender with yourself and with all of life. Vulnerability doesn't keep us safe, but it does keep us open, and an open heart is one of the strongest, most powerful tools in the world. Cultivate a practice of self compassion and tenderness toward all of life in order to become more like the friend who created you. Love that. And especially with this tower moment here and all of this going on here, and also the energy that you're charging into here, tenderness, which again can be found in rest, is so important. It's almost more important than doing any of the work because, we can ram ourselves into awareness, but if we're not being tender with it, we're just going to be in bed for a week recovering instead of just resting like we did before capitalism and the patriarchy told us our worth is equated with our output. 16, create joy creating. A synergy is there. The sweet centering grit of purpose can move through your veins and make confirmation work and make you glad to be alive. Now is time to seek the nourishment of creation. The ecstasies and agonies of life are listless things until they flow through you, alchemically changing from experience to art during the act of creating. You are an artist, and life is your canvas. So whether you choose to create a sculpture, a poem, a dance, a new thought, a fresh belief, or a unique perspective, you have the power to change the world inside and around you through your unique creations. A unique perspective definitely is the hanged man. Fresh belief can be all of these swords or even the tower. And I feel like the Page of Wands is really speaking to the creation because I like to say that any wand can go out into the woods and any tree can give you a wand. You just have to believe that it has that. But it's really the channel, the instrument for the creation, the art, the magic that already lives within you. Yeah, and that feels complete. So get out there and create. Get off YouTube and go create. And if you want to dive deeper into a personal reading, I will leave that link below. They're a little different than this, but they still keep that same idea of storytelling over fortune telling. And so I'll leave it there and I'll see you next time. But until then, I wish you nothing but peace, love, and happiness from this day forward. Take care.